3. And we are here live from the swamp. And it's time for some playoff football in the AISA. Your Glenwood Gators, 9-1 on the season. Region champs looking to become try to win their 4th state championship in school history. First, they got to win this one. It's a semifinal playoff matchup rematch against Autauga Generals, who they faced early in the season. And with that, we are underway here from Semi-Hour Field. Thrift Barringer, Richard Holdrige, Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Our first playoff game of this 2023 season, and we have a good one for you. These two teams faced off a few weeks ago. Glenwood ended up winning that game by 20 or 30 points. Now, Autauga kept it close. A couple of turnovers is the reason why early on in the game, while they got down to a 14-21 nothing start. But now the Generals, after their big win last week, take on the Gators. Handoff, bounce it to the outside, and this young man who had a phenomenal game last time these two teams faced, Cameron Wright, gets about 8 yards on the first carry, and Autauga sets up second down and short.
Autauga Academy coming into this game, winning their first round matchup to Bessemer Academy, 29-20. This team finished 3-7 last year, and they've had a bounce back season with so far an 8-3 record.
Quarterback for the Autauga Generals is Mason Inman. And Mr. Inman, not Mason Inman, Landon Henry is the starting quarterback for the Generals.
Autauga Academy out of Prattville, Alabama. Their most famous alumni is the former Alabama tight end O.J. Howard.
Hand off the right again, and because of the penalty, 5-yard false start penalty on Autauga, made them go back to make it 2nd and 8, and then 3-yard carry for Wright sets up 3rd and 5. And so last time we saw these Gators play, they played against Chambers. Lamont Burton was out after the first half. He is back out there, number 4, going to Air Force, the leader for this defense, and he's a big piece. Can they get their first stop here early in this one? I know the Gators want to get off to that hot start. The only time they haven't got off to a hot start was against Chambers, and they ended up losing that game. And there goes Landon Henry. He had the option and was able to get enough for the Generals' first down.
That was a good drive by the Autauga Generals by picking up the first down, and that's a good sign because they were off to a very slow start the last time they played Glenwood. They had 2 quick turnovers, had the ball first, and they had to climb out of a hole already down 14-0. That's the key. When you get the ball first, you want to try to go down and score. And this Autauga Generals team just wants to continue moving the ball. If anything, try to flip the field on Glenwood.
First down now for Autauga. And they're going to hand it off to Wright, and Wright is gobbled up in a big-time tackle for loss for number 42 for the Glenwood Gators. Number 47 for the Glenwood Gators, Markel Robinson, the defensive end. Big stop for him, and that's a tackle for loss, and that's going to set up second down and 12 for Autauga.
That was one of those plays where it was sniffed in the backfield immediately when the ball was handed off, and a big loss on the play, and hopefully the Glenwood defense could step up here on this second down.
Snap, keep a Henry, and Henry's going nowhere for a tackle. Many Gators over there, including Mr. Glenwood himself, Wesley Graham, along with number 44 for the Gators, Harlan Wilmoth, the defensive end. And that is going to set up third down and long. Gators pinning their ears back. That defensive line that has wreaked havoc all season long. 2 huge losses on first and second down.
That interior line is stout. You talk about Wesley Graham, he's got 2 sacks.
And there's going to be a pass out, and they're going to call a pass interference on that. And I think what happened was number 11, Levi Pender, got there before the ball was, and even if Wright had caught it, wouldn't have been up for the first down. But because of the penalty, this may be Autauga moving the change. We're going to see here as they mark it off.
One thing I've noticed about Autauga, a lot of running plays to start the game to Cameron Wright, a couple of pass plays by Landon Henry, and they were able to get the penalty, and it's going to move the chains. And this is really a good sign if you're the Generals, just moving the football, and they're now at the 40-yard line.
There's going to be a fake toss handed up inside is Wright for a gain of 1. Cameron Wright was one of the bright spots for that Autauga versus Glenwood game.
Cameron Wright is really seen a lot of touches early on in this game. Thrift, we do have another AISA 3A contest up at Lee Scott. You got Fordale Academy taking on Lee Scott, and so we'll find out who's going to play in the championship by the end of the night.
You're exactly right on that, Richard. And we'll keep you up to date.
A lot of teams playing on Thursday night.
And he's going to be set to pass, throw it over the middle, and that could have been intercepted.
That was a dangerous throw.
Dangerous throw. And as number 13, Thet Morris, would have just took off just a bit sooner, had the chance to intercept it.
Thet Morris, another one of those leaders on this Gator defense. He's second on the team with tackles. And he really, it was in no man's land. He came out of nowhere to try to pick it off, and now it's going to set up for a 3rd and 9, but Autauga has been successful on these third down conversions. Let's see if the Glenwood Gators defense can get a stop here.
3rd down now for the Gators. Can they get a stop, and they're going to blow it? I think it's going to be, it looks like maybe a timeout. Are they going to say neutral zone infraction? And yep, this is going to go on the Gators. They're going to say they lined up off sides, and that's going to move them up 5 more yards to set up more 3rd and manageable for the Generals.
Autauga has been pretty good on 3rd down conversions as they continue to move the football. They know that all they got to do is not make the big mistake because they are a team that can move the football in Glenwood. They just can't find themselves in a hole.
Snap. Henry looking, throwing, and I don't know who he was trying to throw it to. Wright was over there, but that sailed about 10 feet over his head. And now it's going to be 4th down and decision time for the Generals. Are they going to be aggressive here, trying to get out to an early lead? They know they need to score first if they want to have a chance in this one. And they're deciding, you know what, now's not the time to take that risk, and they're going to punt it.
And this is a good decision by Autauga to punt the football away. But back receiving this punt is the also dangerous Camden White. And if I were the punter here, I would try not to kick it to him.
And the punt, White's going to wave fair catch. He's going to catch it.
And
they're going to set up inside the 20-yard line. And here comes the guy that we've talked about all season long. He has been absolutely incredible. He's got double-digit rushing touchdowns. He's rushed for over 600-700 yards. He's thrown for close to 2,000. He's thrown over 20 touchdowns. He has been an all-around electric and a great playmaker and leader for this Glenwood team.
Dallas Crow with 24 touchdowns, 11 rushing touchdowns. He's had an incredible season for the Glenwood Gators. And really in his 2nd year under Coach Nelson's offense. And he also has that DNA of trying to win games. And that's bobbled snap, and he's lucky to get that ball back. But Glenwood wants to try to get off to a hot start. I mean, you have a situation, last time Glenwood faced Chambers Academy, they were down 14-0. And they got the ball back. They got to get down here. Even though they got a long drive to try to get this score, I mean, they're already on the 15-yard line. Let's see if Glenwood can try to get some of that back on this 2nd and 14.
Bad snap, Crow looking, ball bobbled and then tipped at the line. Set up 3rd down, back-to-back, not great plays as the Gators start here on offense, Richard.
I think on this 3rd and 14, you got to get a slant pattern to McCrane or try to get Cal Lawrence out there open in the flat. I mean, you don't try to get all of it. Maybe you try to get a run play and just flip the field and give it back. But, I mean, it's going to be tough. But Dallas Crow, I know they're backed up. But let's try to see what play call Coach Nelson has for Dallas Crow on this third down.
Crow's got it. Looking, spins out of a tackle. Still looking downfield. Doesn't have a receiver. He's going to take off and run. Throws it up anyway. Caught!
Wow.
Camden White, did he catch it on the sideline? He says he's out of bounds. Ryan Nelson says, pointing at the spot where he thought he had caught it. And the referee's not budging. It's going to set up fourth down. But there is the playmaking ability of Dallas Crow that we were talking about, Richard.
Still a great throw. He threw it off balance. He was running for his life, rolling to his right, his left, and then Cal Lawrence, I thought he got a foot down, but the refs are going to call him out of bounds, and Autauga is going to get good field position on their second possession of the game.
Snap. Punt is on the way, field position game, and this one could be returnable. Got an Autauga bounce. Glenwood needs to touch it as it keeps rolling all the way to the 42-yard line. So Autauga starts in good field position on their second possession of the game. This game is brought to you by Mike and Ed's Barbecue. Thank you to Chase Cook. Mike and Ed's Barbecue is phenomenal. That's where we do the coaches show, and we love Chase Cook and Mike and Ed's. If you need catering, if you love good home country barbecue, Mike and Ed's is the place for you. Carol Purdue and State Farm, one of the top agencies around here. Her daughter Elizabeth graduated from Glenwood. We appreciate Carol Purdue. And also Happy Hour Bar and Grill as well. Snap, bobble snap, ball on the ground, and he throws it up anyway. Crazy play. Can't believe he decided to throw that. Could have been intercepted. And Autauga, luckily, able to get out of that unscathed without a turnover. That play started off bad, Richard.
Absolutely. Really, Glenwood, good job with the pressure. You're in a situation where the Glenwood Gators defense has really got to step up, maybe dial up some pressure, make Autauga make the big mistake here, because what you don't want to do is let Autauga get some momentum and try to score here. But let's see what they try to do as Coach McConnell tries to dial up a defensive play here.
And I don't think he got anything.
No, I don't think he did either.
And maybe even lost a yard. They're going to say he gained maybe one to set up third down and 9 for the Generals.
Well, Cam Wright on the play, he rushed to the left. There was nothing there. Those big bodies inside for Glenwood just plugged those holes. Hey, Thrift, we do have a score update in that Fort Dale-Lee Scott game. Lee Scott is up 7-0.
All right, well, Lee Scott's up 7-0. Remember, the winner of that one plays the winner of this one. And next week's Crampton Bowl State Championship in Montgomery game. Snap, looking, throws it, wide open, and able to catch it is number 3 for Autauga Academy, Mr. Damian Dickerson, who was wide open. Nobody was near him, and that's a 20-yard gain. Good throw by Landon Henry with pressure in his face, and Autauga moving the chains, and they're all the way close to the 25-yard line of Glenwood.
And if we do have another game in action, as Chambers Academy is taking on Patrician Academy tonight for a right to go to the state championship as well for 2A.
Snap. And good tackle by the senior, Mr. Glenwood. Wesley Graham gobbles him up for a short gain to set up second down. But I'll tell you what, Landon Henry is showing that he can ball himself. It may not be the most orthodox throw. It is wobbly, but it's getting there, and he's able to get it to his playmakers. Anything can happen, as you saw as he threw that one to Damian Dickerson just a play ago. Second down for the Generals. Generals in their all white with black helmets. They have there's a snap, tall sweep, Cameron Wright, a lot of blocking. He makes one man miss. What a job by that offensive line for Autauga, and they keep moving the change. That's close to another first down. Autauga's logo looked kind of like Vanderbilt's. You see their helmets. Glenwood, and they're all orange with their white helmets and the 2 stripes going down the middle. the G on each side. 5:15 remaining. Generals and Gators here for a semifinal chance to play in the state championship game next week. Snap, screen pass, and good tackling. No, he did tackle, but someone comes and cleans it up, and that guy was number 13, Thet Morris, with a hard boom. And that's going to back him up 2 yards to set up 4th down and short, and here's a big one. There's no doubt in my mind Autauga's going to go for this. Can the Gators get a big stop? That bend but don't break mentality the Gators have had on defense all season long.
If anything they've learned from that Chambers Academy game, you know, this Gators team can get defensive stops when they need to, as they were able to come back in that game. And this is another situation, a 4th and 2. Let's see that line step up and try to get a big play.
Snap. Henry throws it to Wright. Wright's got to make a man miss and does. Makes another man miss, but unable to get the first down. Thet Morris was there. He had read it beautifully. Landon Henry tossed it to him. It was one-on-one. Wright versus Thet, and Wright won that one. First down, Generals.
I like the running style of Cameron Wright. I mean, he's rolling to the left. He made a man miss. He was able to get the first down. A big 4th down conversion by the Autauga Generals.
So now first down for Autauga. Henry right in the backfield, directing his teammates. And lost ball, and there goes the Gators. They land on top of it, and there's the lucky break they needed. Number 34 for the Gators, able to come up with that one, Trent Gillian. And man, a bad break of all bad breaks for Autauga when they had everything going, and the Gators get a much-needed turnover, and that sets them outside the 20, first down Glenwood.
Huge turnover. Fires up the entire Gator bench, and the crowd is fired up as well. And let's see this Gator offense come on out again. And with it being on about the 15, Dallas Crow, he's got some work to do. He's got 85 yards to the end zone. And let's see that Glenwood Gator long drive that we're accustomed to seeing all season.
And first down play, there goes Carter Judah, and he gets about 15, 20 yards on that one. First down Gators.
Carter Judah, only a sophomore, leading the team in rushing. He's really been a bright spot here for the Glenwood Gators, who likes to run the football with that dual threat quarterback, but also having a back like Carter Judah is really going to help you move the chains.
Here comes Camden White, jet sweep, makes a man miss, going to reverse his field, still on his feet, there goes Camden White. Able to at least get 2 or 3 yards on a play that could have gotten lost of 5.
One thing about Camden White, he's a playmaker, not only on defense but on offense, special teams. He is going to do whatever it takes to grind and get that extra yardage. So a 2nd and 12 is more like a 2nd and 9. You know, just trying to get that extra yardage to set your offense in a better situation.
We got 4 receivers over here, and it's going to be a screen pass
Got blockers
to number 1, Griff Gardner, and Griff able to get at least 3 or 4 yards. He had 4 receivers over here, set up blockers for him, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Gators.
I do like that call, getting the blockers ahead in the field and get your playmakers open in space to try to get big yardage. You just did a good job by Autauga sniffing it out and not getting a whole lot of yards on that play.
Snap. Crow. Screen to Judah, and it's going to be blown dead. And we'll see what the flag's on.
Thrift, we do have a score update in the AISA 2A semifinals. Patrician Academy leading Chambers Academy 2-0. Yes, I double-checked it. They started the game with a safety.
And that one's going to be on the Gators. False start. And that's going to set up 3rd down and long. And my man just
jump?
They didn't jump. He walked up to the line.
And he just stepped
I don't
in.
know. I don't consider that a jump. I consider that a walk. So that was a walking penalty because he walked right up to the center, like about to give him a handshake. Does the nose guard. So they go back 5 yards, bring it up forward 5 yards to set up 3rd down and 6 for Glenwood. They got trips to the far side, one-on-one action. Mason McCrane here to the near. Crow, screen to Judah. Judah has to make a man miss. Does, still on his feet, pushing through defenders. Ball on the ground, though. And let's see who's got it. Autauga's waving, saying they got it. As the pile clears. And it looks like it's going to stay with Glenwood. And it is going to be a 1st down. That ball is popping out for both teams. Take care of it if you're Glenwood. 1st down, though. Good job by Carter Judah, who had to make several people miss, run through a couple tacklers to get that 1st down. Tempo. This is what we like seeing from the Gators offense. Hand off to Judah. Judah over to the right side. Judah, huge hole. 10 yards. Make it 15 on that 1st down carry. Let Judah eat. Like I said about Matei Yeoman from Harris County, I said let the big man eat. I'm going to say let Judah eat. That's back-to-back 1st downs for him.
Keep moving the chains for Glenwood. An easy 12-yard gain for Carter Judah.
And Dallas Crow's going to keep it. He's got a lot of space in front of him. Blockers, too. McCrane, Crow still on his feet. Blow it dead so he doesn't lose that football as Cameron Wright from Autauga tries to rip it out. But a good job with the fake. Everyone thought, including myself, Judah had it. Crow lost his footing for a little bit, or he probably would have got another 10, 15 yards. Good blocking by Camden White and Mason McCrane out in front. 1st down Gators as they're moving the chains. Snap. Hand off to Judah. Judah getting great blocking. Going to bounce it out, bring it back inside. Weaves to the left and right. Another 8-yard carry for Judah.
Carter Judah just making these runs look easy, but it's really that offensive line just getting the holes ready for Judah. And then you also have Dallas Crow, a dual threat quarterback making plays as well. And this has been the best drive so far for the Gators. Hopefully they can try to punch it in here on their 2nd possession.
Snap. Crow's going to do a QB keep. Crow's going to spin into a hard tackle. And it's going to set up 3rd down and short.
This is definitely 4-down territory for Glenwood. The way they've been moving the football and Carter Judah getting 8 yards a pop, 12 yards a pop, this is where you try to put the hands in your playmakers, Dallas Crow, Carter Judah, or try to continue to run the football to set up play action, to try to catch Autauga off guard.
All right, 3rd down. It's either going to be a QB keep or a Judah 1st down run. And it's going to be a QB keep, and there's a huge hole. And there goes Mr. Dallas Crow showing it that he has the capability of his legs to kill any defense. And another Gators 1st down.
When you're in a playoff game, a big game like this, and when you got to get a 1st down, you put the ball in the hands of your playmaker. Dallas Crow says, get me that 1st down.
And that's going to be the end of the 1st quarter. Judah is going to be tackled. Really good tackle there by number 1 for Autauga Academy, Key William Cook. And at the end of 1, Gators 0, General 0. Gators driving. They're deep inside Autauga territory. We'll be right back. This game is brought to you by Mike and Ed's Barbecue, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, PMB Broadcasting. We appreciate all the love from all our sponsors all season long. Be right back after this. Welcome back here, Thrift Barringer and Richard Holdrige, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And the Gators are driving second quarter here, and Carter Judah makes a man miss. There goes Judah, makes another man miss, and gets it down about the 8-yard line. They do need to get to the 2 to get a first down. Third down now for the Gators.
A good run by Carter Judah as they're right on the doorstep of that goal line and trying to punch it in. I still think this is 4-down territory, but if they get a situation where it's going to be a 4th and goal and it's pretty long, you got a pretty good kicker in Griffin Montroy. I mean, we've seen him make some big kicks all season long, including last year as well. But this game, the winner plays in the AISA State Championship Thursday night at the Cramden Bowl against the winner of Lee Scott and Fort Dale Academy.
Well, while we were talking, a holding penalty on the Gators backs them up 10 yards, and it's going to set up second down and about 18 now for Glenwood, make it 19. So Crow's got a lot of work to do to get it closer. Handoff is to a new running back, which is number 35 for the Gators, Josiah Clark, a freshman, and that means Clark, who comes out now and brings Judah back in, he gets about 3 yards, sets up 3rd and 15 for the Gators. They do have a formidable kicker. Also, quarterback right now for the Gators, as Dallas Crow is not in. Number 11, Levi Pender, the backup quarterback. Dallas Crow's right here on the sideline. We don't know if he took a rough hit. He's standing on his own 2 feet. He is talking with one of the trainers. Gators want a timeout. We'll take one, too. Thrift Barringer, Richard Holdrige, Georgia Alabama Sports Live, AISA semifinal matchup. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back here. Third down, Crow fakes it, throws it over the middle. Mason McCrane caught, brought down, good pass, fake, and a nice job. There were 2 defenders on McCrane. That's just him going up and mossing it over 2 defenders from Autauga. Just bigger, faster, and stronger at 6'4", that big frame. You throw it up to him, he'll go get it. 4th down and short now, and here comes the jumbo package for the Gators. Lamont Burton, one of those guys that just ran in there. Also, Wesley Graham, another one. And number 34 for the Gators also came in with the jumbo package, Trenton Gillian. Handoff, QB keep, and he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, depending on the spot. It looks like he got a favorable spot, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Let's see. And it is a first down. Now it's 1st and goal. Got just enough of a push that offensive line, and a nice job by Elise landing past the first down marker. And now Gators set up 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Snap, keep, walk in, Dallas Crow, touchdown Gators. And Glenwood answers on their second possession with a touchdown, and the Gators lead 6-0. Good job by Dallas Crow that whole drive, making plays with his feet and arm.
Dallas Crow's made some big plays on that drive, just like he's made big plays all season. That is his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. It's great to see him after that timeout back into the game. We saw that he took a little bit of a breather. He came back in, and that was a very important drive for Glenwood to go 85 yards and to get the first score of the game. And now their defense can try to hold Autauga.
And extra point is up, and it is good. Glenwood Gators score first in this one. It's a semifinal playoff matchup here. The AISA winner goes to the state. Brought to you by Mike and Ed's Barbecue, State Farm, Carroll, Purdue, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, PNB Broadcasting. We appreciate all our sponsors. If you'd like to be a part of our playoff coverage, we got a big one next week as Calvary will host a playoff game, and we are trying to see if we'll have the capability of broadcasting the state championship. We have in years past, but you know, there's always subject to change, so we'll keep you up to date if Glenwood wins here, if we'll be able to broadcast that game. Crampton Bowl and Montgomery, but they got to get past the Generals first, and that drive put them on the board up 7 now.
It was a great drive by that Gators offense, and that's what you want to do is start out fast, especially when you're in a playoff game. You got a team like Autauga that's really, I think it helped them getting a close win against Bessemer Academy the week before. Glenwood has had the bye, and they had time to think about this one, time to prepare for it, but they are at home. And I expect Glenwood to respond when you're the home team, especially with this home crowd.
And the kickoff is going to go in the end zone for a touchback.
I've got to say, Griffin Montroy, he has got a leg on him. He's had a leg on him the last couple of years. I mean, he is going to kick at the next level. I mean, he is an elite kicker. And that is huge when you have a leg like that and you're just constantly kicking it off in touchbacks. That is helping your defense and making sure that they don't try to run it back. I mean, that is going to be really tough when you have to deal with the special teams era with whatever Autauga is trying to accomplish here, because they're down 7-0. They want to try to get back in this game by any means necessary.
Gators on defense now. They got a big stop last time deep in their own territory as Autauga was driving. Tall sweep to Cameron Wright, gets another positive first down gain. Autauga has drove the ball on the Gators in their first 2 possessions, got it in Gator territory. They punted on the first one, and the second one they got it all the way down inside the 20 before a turnover, fumble, and the Gators were able to recover and go right down the field and score a touchdown. And that's where we stand now with 9:48 remaining here in the second quarter. Snap. Tall sweep. Dickerson. And tackled. Fumble on the ground. Who's got it? They're saying the Gators do. Lamont Burton's pointing in that direction. And it is Gators football. Big turnover for Glenwood. Nice job right there by Trenton Gillian. He was number 34. He's the one that got his hand on it. And a good recovery for number 44 for the Glenwood Gators. Harlan Wilmoth with the recovery. And this is exactly what happened last time, Richard. The Gators able to turn Autauga over and capitalize with touchdowns. Let's see if they can do it here. They just did it last possession. Big turnover for Autauga right there.
Glenwood's got great field position right now. Ball is right on the 23-yard line, already up 7-0. And it would be great if they can get up to that 14-0 lead. And it's kind of the same situation they were in the last time they played Autauga about a month ago.
And there is going to be a delay of game on the Gators. It's going to back them up 5 yards.
See, when you get into the playoffs, you could throw the record books out the window. I mean, Everybody's got a clean slate. Autauga knows if they play their game. I've seen what they're capable of doing. They can move the football on this Gator defense.
Tall sweep to Judah. Judah weaving his way all the way, still on his feet, and that's a 15-yard first down gain. Great blocking, but even better vision and running from Carter Judah, and he is about maybe 2 yards short of a Gators first down.
If you talk about the vision of Carter Judah, he's averaging close to 8-9 yards a carry. He had a 15-yard run on that. It's not just the offensive line. He sees the holes immediately, and his cuts, he's able to find space and get the big runs.
And off to Judah. Judah And a good tackle by Dickerson, but Judah able to get enough for the Gators first down. And that's going to move the chains. And the Gators are on. It's right outside the 10. It looks like maybe the 12-yard line. So, again, they're going to have to get to the 2 to get a first down. Judah in the backfield with Crow. White on the motion. Jet sweep the right, and there goes Camden White, where he's tackled by Damian Dickerson. We've saying his name a lot. And he gets tackled right at the 8-yard line.
As we still try to get you more score updates, we do have a big one tomorrow in the AHSA 7A playoffs. Central taking on Davidson. Auburn is on the road against Baker.
We won't be broadcasting any games tomorrow. For once, me and Richard and Chris and Toygar get to enjoy a Friday night. The first time since August the 11th, because August 18th was our first game, which was Glenwood and Pacelli right here on this field. Timeout Gators, and we have called every Friday since. And it's been a long but fun season.
It truly has.
And from one season to the next, we're already in basketball, as you saw on our YouTube channel. We also live stream all CVCC girls and boys basketball games. Thank you to Robert Edmond and Toygar as they broadcasted that one today. CVCC was able to get a big win now. And I'm telling you, Joe Richardson and Douglas Bird, Richardson the girls coach, Bird the boys coach, these CVCC Pirates and Lady Pirates are going to be vying for another state championship this year in the ACCCC. So make sure to tune in on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Our next game is coming up on Monday. It's a girls matchup. Robert Edmond will be there for that one. And then on Wednesday, the boys play. And I will be on the call for that one with Richard Holdrige. Hand off to Judah. Judah, big hole. Judah walks in for the touchdown. Nice blocking. Judah able to get it right up the middle, and he wasn't touched, so he was in the end zone. Gators, 2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns, and there is a flag. I wonder if they're going to get excessive celebration
Hopefully
on
this
Judah.
Will stand. Yeah, this has definitely got to stand. But just a brief history on Autauga Academy. The last time they did win a state championship, but it was in Class 2A, or it was in 2021. They went 13-0. And Autauga Academy has won a total of 7 championships in the AISA, but that was at the AA level. And so they had to move up a classification. But this is one of the teams, along with Glenwood and Lee Scott, that is moving to the AHSAA next year.
So we're going to see what the call is. They're having a meeting right now. I don't see them mark off anything. I honestly think they got it on Judah for something.
We thought it was excessive celebration, but
oh yeah, they are going to go unsportsmanlike conduct. The touchdown is good, but they're going to say after the touchdown, penalty on Judah, but the score still stands. And now Glenwood doing. Zach Moss from Harris County and Rick Beach told me it's like swinging gate or something is what they call that formation when they start out like they're going to run a 2-point conversion and they come back in for the extra point, which is good. And Gators are up 14-0, starting to look eerily similar like last time these two teams faced. Richard.
Absolutely. We do have a score update. Thrift Chambers Academy is leading Patrician Academy 14-2. The winner of that game will be in the AISA championship game next week in Montgomery on the 16th, but their game will start at 5 Eastern.
And we'll try to get you up to date on Lee Scott as the Warriors are taking on Fort Dale. Winner of that game faces the winner of this game next week in the state championship of the Crampton Bowl.
We do have other teams in the AHSAA that are in action tonight to include Eufaula. A lot of teams decided to move their games to Thursday night because of possible inclement weather tomorrow. And plus, with it being Veterans Day on Saturday, a lot of kids are out of school on Friday.
So because of the penalty, instead of kicking off near the 40, they're going to have to kick off at the 25, so it should be good field position. As good a leg as Griffin Montross has, I don't know if he can kick it 75 yards. But you never know.
This will be a good test for him to see how far he can kick it.
By the way, for all those that are tuning in, we did High School Game Day. Go check it out as the kickoff is underway. Cameron Wright's going to be able to return it from the 15. Now on to the 20, 30. Got a hole, still on his feet before he's gobbled up by 6 or 7 Gators. We talked to Coach Dusty Perdue, the newly inducted Chattahoochee Valley Hall of Famer. Guy that's won 4 championships in the boys' side, 2 on the girls'. He's won state championships in softball as well. I mean, I think he's got 4 or 5 there. He was a Calvary coach, CVCC. I mean, the guy can flat-out coach no matter what it is. And long-time Glenwood Gator and much deserving as he gets in now with his mom and his dad. That's pretty cool. So you can check out that interview we had with him on earlier this evening on Georgia Alabama Sports Live Facebook page. Shovel pass to Cameron Wright, who gets about 4 yards for the first down carry.
Score update in Lee Scott-Fort Dale game. Lee Scott leading Fort Dale 7-3.
Game's closer than expected. I would not be surprised. Fort Dale's a really good team. Fort Dale has 2 losses this year, 8-2, and both of them were to Lee Scott and Glenwood.
Yeah, this region is really top-heavy. You got some great teams at the top to include Lee Scott, Glenwood, Fort Dale. And this Autauga Academy team is 8-3.
I mean, there's only 8 teams in the AISA. 6 of them make the playoffs. Gators and Lee Scott were both getting byes. And winner gets to play in the state. 3rd down.
And that state is going to be a triple header starting at 2 p.m. Eastern with the AISA single A. You still have the 8-man football with Springwood. They're in the playoffs as well. I mean, it's going to be all day state championships at the Cramden Bowl.
And they're going to call a timeout. We'll take 1, 2. It's Thrift, Barringer, Richard Holdrige, Georgia Alabama Sports Live coverage of the AISA's semifinal 3A playoff game. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back here, 3rd down. Gators, handoff's going to be a running back pass. Wesley Graham trying to make a tackle, not able to, trying to push his quarterback in before he's tackled by Gillian, who throws him down for a loss. 4th down, nice job by Wesley Graham getting the initial pressure on him and cleaned up by Gillian, number 34.
Well, Cameron Wright tried to make a play, but a great job by Gillian to chase him down and to swarm on him and set up a 4th down stop, and Glenwood going to get the ball back. Really, it started with the kicking of Griffin Montroy to pin them back on the penalty. It could have been great field position for Autauga, and Glenwood's defense was able to step up. But it really started with just an incredible kick by Griffin Montroy.
So 4th and 6, and Another penalty on Autauga.
I think it's delay. Yeah, it'll be delay a game. It's going to back them up 5 yards.
And that's going to make it 4th and 11. And now if you're Autauga, you're starting to get in danger zone because you start getting down 3 or 4 touchdowns. That's going to be too big of a lead to try to come back on. Decent turnout here at Sammy Howard Field. And White calls the fair catch, and now the Gators will start at their 37-yard line. I've really liked what I've seen from Dallas Crow. He's done a good job with this offense. And this offense is run heavy but able to make big plays with their passing game. Now, unlike maybe like an Auburn team in 2013 when they were run heavy and threw when they needed to, Glenwood can throw. They can have the intermediate game. They can throw it out in the flats. They can go deep, do post route slants. They have all that capability. They rather run it inside and just kill you with their offensive line, but they've got the capability to do it all. And now a trick or play that's going to be a reverse, and White's going to be tackled for a loss, but there is a flag. I'm wondering if it was a face mask on Autauga. Yeah, it's definitely going to be on them because there was no other Glenwood player over there except for Camden White, and I know that they didn't call it on him.
Well, that wipes out would have been a huge loss on the play for Autauga. And you just got to watch when you're tackling. You just got to watch for the face mask. Sometimes they don't call it, but the ref saw it in clear plain sight and had to call the face mask, especially when Camden White got blanketed by 2 defenders and they just made it obvious.
Snap. And that one's going to be thrown. And he's going to say it is dropped. Camden White said there's no way. I was definitely underneath it. Now, I will say, out of everyone to make that call, the back judge that is all the way on the far side of the Glenwood line, I thought that would have been the referee that's either in the middle of the field or the line judge that was in front, because the back judge definitely was being blocked by that, and he's behind the play. But either way, they're saying incomplete. It's going to be Gators 2nd down and 10 now. Judah takes off. Judah gets hit hard. I'll tell you what, Autauga's not scared to lay the wood. We had some tough hits here. It's going to be about 3rd and 6 now for the Gators.
Judah, the way he runs is like getting shot out of a cannon. I mean, he runs hard. He just makes 5, 6, 7 yards look easy. And remember, he is only a sophomore.
Yeah. Bright future for this young man. And no one's paying attention. Crow just has to eat it. And miscommunication by the center and Dallas Crow. That's the 2nd time we've seen something like that happen here in the first half. And Gators not able to capitalize with decent field position. They're going to have to punt. Just not paying attention right there was the center and Dallas Crow.
And those are some of the things that Coach Nelson talked about, just cleaning up those little mistakes. And really, you had an opportunity to continue extending on this lead, but you're giving the ball back to Autauga, giving him signs of life.
Good job by Crow, able to see that it was snapped to him and get on top of it, because it could have been Autauga football instead of at their own 29, could have been at Glenwood's 38-35. 4:25 remaining here. Gators up 14-0. Georgia-Alabama Sports Live coverage of the AISA 3A semifinal game. Winner goes to the state championship. Game brought to you by State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Chase Cook, and Mike and Ed's Barbecue. Can't wait. We'll have Gators win. They got their Glenwood coaches show, so can't wait to be there. And screen pass. And there goes Wright, getting about 8 or 9 yards, and they just keep feeding number 7 the ball. He has been the primary playmaker for this Generals team here in the first half. Same thing that happened last time these two teams faced off.
And you just have leaders on this defense. Lamont Burton, it was great to see him back in the lineup, leading the team with 69 tackles. Thet Morris, second on the team with 40 tackles. Trent Gilliard with 37 tackles.
And Graham gets a tackle for no gain to set up third down and short now.
Yeah, and I've been very impressed with that defensive line, too, led by Wesley Graham, the senior, the leader on that D-line, along with Harlan Wilmoth. I mean, they've really been stepping up in this game. Let's see if the Gator defense can get a big defensive stop.
All right, third down. Gators need a big stop here. Can they get it? Right, there he goes, up the middle. They may not catch him. Cameron Wright, all he needed was a little space, goes all the way 60 yards and stops right at the corner of the end zone for a Autauga touchdown. Great blocking right there. And that young man, you give him enough space, he's going to make a play. He has been the primary workhorse for this Autauga team in a big 60-yard run. Much needed for Autauga to get back in this game.
Good run by Cameron Wright. All they needed was 3 yards. Camden Wright, with his speed, found the hole, and nobody was catching him all the way to the house. And that is how you get back into this game.
And he cut that up inside. Nobody was there. Blocked! Extra point is blocked. Thet Morris, Camden White were the two that were in there. 14-6, but not before the damage was done. The Autauga Generals go 70 yards for a touchdown to get right back in this one. 14-6 now.
Yeah, looking at the playoff bracket, we talked about the AISA over in Georgia. I mean, we have some key games tomorrow as Harris County is hosting Ola. You have Carver that's hosting Richmond, Academy of Richmond County. And then we do have some games on Saturday afternoon. Spencer is hosting Vidalia. And Shaw is on the road in Fayetteville, Georgia, taking on Stars Mill. Of course, Pacelli is on a bye. Brookstone, they're not playing until next week. And then Calvary's on a bye. But the winner of this game will take on the winner of Lee Scott, Fort Dale. Right now, the score is still 7-3. We'll try to get a score update. Lee Scott is ahead in that game. As the state championship for the AISA, all classifications, is Thursday, November the 16th at the Cramden Bowl, starting at 11 o'clock with the 8-man football, and then Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3. Oh, that's a nice line drive kickoff.
And that one's...
I'm wondering why they whistled that play dead. Because Camden White did a good job catching that on the line drive. I thought he had room to run it back. But I think they're going to restart it.
They are going to restart.
That's a nice throw by Camden White.
The observation skills of Richard are on par. And
well, he's truly an athlete. I mean, leads the team in interceptions.
Yep.
He's the leading receiver on the team. He's the special teams guy that you don't want to kick it to.
Return specialist.
He could take it to the house. What an all-around player and a clutch player, too. I mean, he had a couple of interceptions in that Lee Scott game. I mean, that's the type of player that steps up when the lights shine the brightest.
And
Squib kick.
It's going to be returnable. And there's a huge hole, and he may have enough if he can get past the kicker. But a great return for the Gators, number 23 for Glenwood. That was on the return, Jackson Griggs. And gets deep inside Autauga territory at the Generals' 40-yard line. Great return right there. The squib kick didn't work too well for Autauga on that one, Richard.
Yeah, and Glenwood's offense has been methodical. They did stall a couple of times, but there's one way. They got to respond after getting that touchdown given up by Wright. Let's see if Glenwood could answer with a big play here.
And they're going to give it a White on a weird zippity-doo-dah play that had him with the ball after 3 guys went around it. And there's going to be a 7-8 yard gain on that one.
Glenwood has done a good job running the football, but I would love to see Dallas Crow get into play action, get his big receivers involved, get the McCrane involved, Cal Lawrence, big-time receivers out in the open.
Judah takes off, and there goes Judah, carving up that Generals defense. Another Gators first down.
And he saw a huge hole right down the middle. Carter Judah, good for at least 8, 9, 10 yards a carry. I mean, that's great when you have a running back that you could rely on to get a big play and just continue moving the football and moving those chains.
Crow. Pitch. Judah. Judah breaks a tackle. Judah flies in, loses the ball. They are going to say he's down. 15-yard gain on that one. There is an injured Gator, and he is grabbing his knee.
Carter Judah came into this game with 709 rushing yards. He's got to be over the century mark today. He did have a rushing touchdown, which would give him 9 on the season. What a fantastic first year here with the Glenwood Gators as a sophomore, when you get to see 2 more years of this. I mean, he's really been a special running back in this offense.
We're going to take a quick break. I think Mason McCrane is down over there. He's looked like he's trying to get up. It is McCrane. And while he comes off the field, we'll stay here. Gators have had to overcome some injuries. Their defensive end, Samaj Williams, he is out with an injury. Lamont Burton injured himself in Chambers. He's out there, but he's a little bit gimpy. And McCrane is now grabbing and limping with his knee. This is what happens deep in the playoffs. And that's why Glenwood does have the depth. But that would be a huge loss, losing the threat of Mason McCrane, especially in the red zone area where they're at right now. 1st and goal for Gators.
One of the strengths of this Glenwood team is the depth they have on the bench. For an AISA school, I mean, you look down their bench, I mean, they dress at least 60, 70 players. I mean, that's what we're looking at. A lot of the teams they face, not as much.
And Carter Judah rolls in. Nope, that's Camden White. Excuse me, that's 3, not 6. And he rolls in for another Gators touchdown. Nice job by the senior finding the hole and scoring the 3rd touchdown for Glenwood as they go up 20-6. Answers right back after giving up that touchdown run to Cameron Wright of Autauga. Gators come down the field after the good return from Jackson Griggs. And Montrose trying to make it a 15-point game with 1:37 remaining here until halftime. Snap, kick, up, right down the middle. And the extra point is up, and the extra point is good. So with 1:37 remaining, Glenwood leads 21-6. McCrane looking like he's okay. Making sure he was pointing, looking like maybe at his calf. We're just hoping that he is all right and going to be able to get back out there.
Some of the other playoff games tomorrow, Northside is on the road, taking on Jones County. You got LaGrange hosting Westover at Callaway Stadium. Troup County on the road, taking on the Syrup Bakers of Cairo. But Thrift, we did get the word that they did have, all the appeals have been finalized, the reclassification for the GHSA. All the schools in Muskogee County except Northside are going to be in 2A.
Good for them. So Kendrick, Carver, Spencer, Columbus,
Shaw, Hardaway,
Shaw
all in 2A.
Unbelievable. Which makes sense.
Don't
Why
have to
not?
travel.
Yeah.
Why not? And Sumter County. Sumter County is in their region too.
And Northside's at 4A. So good for Hardaway and Shaw especially. I think they'll be more competitive in 2A. and Wright doesn't get anything. So that's a big move to be able to have now all seven of the 8 Muskogee County schools in one region. I mean, they can't be having too many other teams in that region, maybe 1 or 2 more, I would think. But Glenwood, this is their last year in the AISA, and they're trying to go out with a bang and try to clean sweep every state championship and sport that the AISA has to offer, and it's going to start with football right here. See if they can't finish this one off and head next week. There goes Wright again. Wright making people miss. Cameron Wright has been putting on a show. And there goes a flag as he just lobs that one in there. And that's going to be a late hit on the Gators, or maybe a hold on Autauga.
Well, after that long touchdown run by Cameron Wright, the key is to just bottle him up, put 7 in the box, try to stop Cameron Wright. I mean, that's really what the Glenwood Gators defense needs to do.
They're going to call a personal foul on Glenwood, so that's going to be 15 yards. And Autauga's moving the chains, already close to their own 40. .109 remaining here.
So everybody, please like the Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. As football season winds down, we're starting to call some basketball games, and we're just excited about just expanding our brand.
Snap. He's going to throw it up, has a man open, and almost caught.
That would have been a great catch. It was right on target. He just could
great
not
throw.
catch it.
Got to be able to bring that in.
You got to catch that. That was Barrett McIntyre intended for on the throw. What a throw by Landon Henry. It really just faked everybody out. With number 9, Mason Eamon, also. They do have the 2-quarterback system for Autauga. So Mason Eamon was in on the play.
I'll tell you what, it works out for us. Now all 7 Muskogee County schools next year, every week's going to be a big game in that region.
True.
Sumter County is the other school that is in there to make 8. And screen pass. By the way, in the game now is Eamon. And I think that's probably going to be illegal touching on Autauga. I don't see a flag, though. They're discussing it. Brennan Eamon is in the game now, and there is the flag.
Yeah, that has to be illegal touching, because if you're not an eligible receiver, you cannot touch the football. And it looked like one of the offensive linemen for Autauga just stuck their big mid out there to knock it down. And
he just didn't want it to get intercepted.
Yeah, he was trying to avoid the interception, but, he would rather get the penalty than have Glenwood intercepted.
So it's 21-6. Gators up by 15. Glenwood also, their field is one of the only grass fields in this area. Majority of everyone else has turf. And they're going to see illegal touching on Autauga. It's going to set up now second down and 15 with 52 seconds remaining.
Score update in the Lee Scott-Fort Dale game. Lee Scott is up 14-3.
Lee Scott looking like we're going to get ourselves the game we want, the rivalry of all rivalries, Glenwood and Lee Scott in the state championship. He's looking, got a lot of time, and still on his feet. He's going to take off and run. Nobody's open, and then he's tackled. Big tackle by Levi Pender. That's just a great job by Camden Wright and Jackson Griggs, and that secondary, as they were able to be in front of anybody. They ran out for a pass right there. Nobody's open. Sack, and it's going to be up 4th down now. And the clock running, I think Glenwood's going to be happy as play clock's at 15.
They'll try to get this punt off.
Game clock's at 18 now. 10, 9. So Glenwood's going to get about with about 9 seconds left. I don't think they're going to try to do anything with it. They're up by 15. Be smart here. And Autauga just wanted to run the clock down and call a timeout with 5 seconds left. So this punt probably going to be the final play of the half.
Thrift, I do want to say that coverage on that last play, I mean, that is saying a lot about your DBs. When you can cover receivers without getting a penalty for that long, that's textbook. You're doing your job, and that will pay off at the next level. Because a lot of DBs, they get called for ticky-tack pass interference calls, but you're actually playing the man and not worrying about trying to hold them. You're just sticking with your man, and I applaud the DBs for that.
So Glenwood going to receive the punt as they have 5 seconds remaining in this one. Obviously, either the Canyon Wright's going to return it for a touchdown, or it's probably going to be the end of the half. And that one is Canyon White's going to just let it roll out. That's going to be the end of the first half. Your Gators score 3 touchdowns off 2 turnovers, and they lead this one 21-6. This game's brought to you by Mike and Ed's Barbecue, State Farm, Carroll, Purdue, P&B Broadcasting, and Happy Hour Bar and Grill. It's live playing there right now. We have our show coming up on Tuesday at Happy Hour Bar and Grill. We'll be right back after this. Glenwood up by 15, 1 half remaining to head to the state championship. Welcome back here, Thrift, Barringer, Richard Holdrige, Georgia, Alabama Sports Live, and we got a good one. We got Autauga and Glenwood. Give me some of your keys to the game, Richard.
I thought that Glenwood did a good job moving the football down the field. They stalled a little bit on some of their possessions, but Cameron Wright's big run has really kept Autauga in this game. And really, they're still alive 21-6, but Glenwood does get the ball to start the second half. And the one thing about this is just you got to put your foot on the gas pedal. This is a playoff game where Autauga is going to come out with the kitchen sink. They know what's at stake here. A trip to the AISA championship game is on the line, and Glenwood is a half away from earning that berth.
Great job by Dallas Crow making plays with his feet and legs. Carter Judah touchdown. Crow's got a touchdown, and Camden White has a rushing touchdown, and that's where we stand, 21-6, as we're about to get the second half underway. Thank you to our sponsors, Chase Cook and Mike and Ed's Barbecue, where we host the Glenwood Coaches Show. That will be this Monday. The game win.
It's a great place to eat barbecue. They do have a couple of sayings come in and pig out with us, and then
we definitely do that every time that we're there. Richard gets about 3 before we even start broadcasting. And I was like, dang, man, save some for the rest of us. Me and Chris are looking at each other like, is there even going to be any barbecue left? Chris loves it. I love it. So does Richard. Mike and Ed's Barbecue. Happy Hour Bar and Grill. You need something fun to do? They got entertainment. They got bands. They got ourselves, the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. They got great food, awesome fun time, and they're having their live watch party game at Happy Hour Bar and Grill. State Farm, Carroll Purdue, one of the best state insurance agencies around, and PNB Broadcast. We will have radio vans in the Veterans Day Parade on Saturday. I'm glad to be driving in that. I also have 2 veterans on my staff as Veteran Day comes on. Toygar, my man Richard, we appreciate your service. We appreciate what you do. I love my guys. And this family, this of ours here at Alabama Sports Live, we are all equally important. And everyone that comes up to me, man, you do awesome. It's also what you do for the kids. And I'm like, I appreciate the love, but I wouldn't be able to do any of this without my guys. All right, second half about to start. Glenwood is set to receive here. And another kick that's going to be caught on the bounce. And there goes Jackson Griggs again. Bounce to the outside, but loses 2 yards. Start at their own 28-yard line.
I think what happened last time, Jackson Griggs just ran up the middle with great field position. But is doing everything they can to try to kick it away from Camden White. When you're a threat on special teams to take it to the house just about every time, that is actually a good play strategy. And Glenwood's right at field position where they need to be, trying to get this drive going, and Autauga wants to try to get a big stop to get the ball back.
And Judah gets stopped for nothing. He probably even lost a yard.
Yeah, Autauga's going to try to come out aggressive and try to get some stops, make it a second down and long, and try to get Glenwood off the field to try to get the ball back. It's only 21-6. Autauga is down by 2 scores. This could be a huge momentum shifter for this Autauga team if they could get a stop.
Crow looking, throws it high and over the head of Carter Judah. It's going to be third down now.
Well, that's what Dallas Crow does. When he feels the pressure, he evades, rolls out of the pocket, and it looked like it was just sailing away, but it was a little too high. Now it's going to be a 3rd and 8, and this is where Autauga's defense can dial up a blitz package, but You don't want to get too aggressive here because Dallas Crow is the type of quarterback that can make you pay on a blitz. And let's see if you can make a big play here on this crucial third down for Glenwood.
Crow is going to roll out. He's going to fire. Probably been intercepted. He was looking for McCrane. And 3 and out, Glenwood to start the second half. Good defensive stand for Autauga.
Did exactly what they wanted coming out of that first half and playing aggressive on defense, and they're going to get the football back with pretty good field position. As you could see, their all-world running back, kick specialist Cameron Wright, who already has a touchdown in this game, is sitting at the 35 for Autauga, hoping to take this one to the house.
Booming punt. And that's going to be a great
punt.
Glenwood bounce all the way to the 21. Nice punt right there for the Gators.
Maybe Cameron Wright should have tried to field that one because that went all the way to the 20-yard line. That's exactly what Glenwood wanted to try to do, is to get a long punt and to pin Autauga back.
So now the Generals will start at their own 24-yard line.
So, Thrift, we actually do have a game in the gaps. Lanier Christian Academy and the Keens Academy, the winner of that game will play Calvary next week.
Now, a lot of the private schools are playing on Thursday because tomorrow is a holiday. The play tomorrow and day. And that one's going to be given off the right. Got to be getting near the century mark at this point. Gets 5 on that one.
Well, there's no question that Wright is close to the century mark, especially the run he has had. I mean, watching the progression from that first game about a month ago in the soggy, muddy field conditions, Cameron Wright was bottled up in this Glenwood defense, and this hat's off to Autauga for making the adjustments.
And down. Caught. Another man miss. First down, Autauga, as number 2, Garrett McIntyre, gets the Generals first down and moving the chains.
And that was also a good pass by Mason Emmon to find him open, a screen pass open in the flat. And McIntyre made a man miss, and he gets the first down. It's a nice drive so far for the Generals.
Eamon is at quarterback. Henry, the one that started, is out. False start on Autauga, back about 5 yards.
And that's exactly what you don't want to do if you're the Autauga offense, is to get behind the chains. Hey, Thrift, we do have a score update in the AISA 2A semifinals as Chambers Academy leading Patrician Academy 26-2 with a state championship berth on the line next week at the Cramden Bowl. That was a great play by Thet Morris. He timed that one perfectly.
Good job by Thet. Set up second down now.
This Glenwood Gators defense just needs to respond, give the offense the football back. Glenwood, they're up 21-6, and they want to try to get the football back just to make it a little bit more comfortable. But this is where it's a huge possession for Autauga. If they could try to get something here, I mean, they can make this game look tight.
But Wright, who has just been eating up Glenwood here, gets 10 yards to make it 3rd and 5. I'd just keep giving it to 7 if I was Autauga, because every time he touches the ball, something positive happens. 3rd down and 6 for this Gators defense.
And a good stop by Camden White. White using his physicality to bring Wright down. Otherwise, it would have been a big gain.
Snap. Hand off, and this time nothing going. Wesley Graham in there along with big number 9 for the Glenwood Gators, Denton Denny. And it's going to set up 4th down now for the Generals.
I think where Autauga is, I think that they go for it. But, well, it looks like they bring on the punting unit. Which is the right call. You don't want to give Glenwood good field position. The key is to just punt the ball away from Camden White, let it take a friendly bounce, and pin Glenwood back on offense.
Snap, kick, up, fair caught, and then we'll start at the 5-yard line.
I'll tell you one thing, Autauga's defense, they can't respond. They got Glenwood. Let's see that Autauga try to step one on Glenwood's second possession here in the second half. It's like Dallas Crow's got 4 wide receivers.
Crow snap, hand off to Judah, and Judah gets nothing on that one. Glenwood right now, you want to play the clock game. You do want to try to keep this a long, sustaining drive, run the clock down, and try to go up by at least 3 touchdowns. Now, Gators have had an excellent season, and Coach Ryan Nelson's first year at the helm. They're 9-1. Only loss has been to Chambers. They beat Pacelli. They beat Lee Scott. They beat Brooks. And they have been the best private school football team around this area. Crow, throwback screen. Who else? Camden White. And he's got blockers in front. Camden White, if he can get past one, able to get at least 30, maybe 40, close to 50 yards. And a good throwback screen. Nice call by Coach Ryan Nelson. And that's the Glenwood Gators' first down.
Dialing up the wide receiver screen. You got blockers in front. And Camden White is going to get you a big play. And Glenwood is now in Autauga territory.
Snap. Judah. Judah got room. Ton of space. Still on his feet. Steps out of bounds, not before another Gators first down. Coach Ryan Nelson has just been a phenomenal offensive coach, knows when to dial up the right plays. This Glenwood team has scored over 40 points a game this year. Their defense has given up a little more than maybe 10 or 15. They have just been at a lights out on both sides of the ball, and they're up by 15 here as they're driving. Snap. Judah, there he goes. Judah holding on to a thread is number 72 for Autauga, but enough for a 3rd straight Gators first down. Make it 1st and goal now with 7:09 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Miles McGinn holding on to Carter Judah's jersey. It looked like he was pulling a thread. He did everything he could to try to bring him down, and that was just a hard play for him to try to get Carter Judah down.
White now in the backfield. And he's going to give it to White, and it's a race to the corner. Man miss, diving for the pylon. Touchdown, Gators. And a little dance at the end of it for the senior Camden White. His 2nd touchdown run of the game. And Glenwood pouring it on at the Generals. They're up 27-6.
That was what we like to call a responding touchdown here in the second half, as Autauga was getting a little momentum with the football, only down by 2 scores, and the Glenwood Gators were able to respond perfectly with that touchdown to put them up by 3 scores.
Extra point is on the way, and it is good. And the Gators are up by 22. And we're going to take a quick break. Thrift, Barringer, Richard Holdrige, Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back here. Glenwood goes 70 yards for the touchdown, and they lead 28-6. And there goes a return for Dickerson, and he's running. He's got a lot of space and steps out of bounds. They're going to say all the way back at the 30-yard line. He kept running like he didn't, but Glenwood is about 18 minutes and 35 seconds heading to their second straight state championship game. They lead 28-6 here.
Score update in the Lee Scott Fort Dale Academy game. Lee Scott is up 34-3.
All right, well, that one's over. And Lee Scott, looking as their only loss this season, was guess to who? These Gators. So we'll see Lee Scott and Glenwood next week looking like. Almost a sack. Throws it up, and guess who? Cameron Wright was there to make grab. Landed. My man Eamon got blasted on that one by number 47, Markel Robinson.
It was a good throw. It's just Cameron Wright was out of bounds. You just got to watch out for the feet. But Autauga, if they want to try to come back in this game, they've got to score here.
And
yeah, that was Wesley Graham.
By the way, Wesley Graham, Mr. Glenwood, him and Dallas Crow, especially Camden White, all these guys are going to be playing the next level. They just need to get their opportunity. I know transfer portals really hurt a lot of guys like White and Crow who are waiting on D2, D3, and junior college schools to give them a look, and they're waiting on the transfer portal. But these guys are phenomenal athletes. I was talking to Matthew White. Camden White is an all-around just great player. Pass over the middle. Look at Camden White. Knocks the ball free, and that may be a turnover. Or they're going to say incomplete. Either way, what a big-time hit by number 3, Camden White, as he's giving the head nod, said, yeah, I did that.
That was a great play by Camden White on that. Just the receiver could not find anything, and he just could not make a football move and an incomplete pass. Otherwise, it would have been a fumble.
So third down.
Yeah, Key William Cook trying to make that play, and it was an incomplete pass.
And play clock goes all the way down. It's fourth down, by the way. They're going for it right here on 4th and 12. They're pretty much saying this is the game if they can't get this. Trying to see what's happening right now.
By the way, Thrift, the Columbus River Dragons are in action tonight against the Baton Rouge Zydeco. We got a scoreless game in the second period. Congratulations to the CVCC Lady Pirates for picking up the win today.
Over Southern Crescent, a win by 40. Shout out Robert Edmonds on the call.
They're 2-2 on the season.
The men also played on the road today. White, fair catch, and Gators going to get it right back at their own 40-yard line. 5:41 remaining. Gators lead 28-6. They're making the move to the AISA next year. They're probably going to be in classification 3A, but they just think it was the best time to make this move, and it's best for their student athletes. And then the drive, the commute, and as Coach Fannin talked about, the AISA is just not the same league it once was. Since Coach Fannin's been there, over 20, close to 30 schools have left AISA, so you're definitely getting a diluted product in years compared to years past. The Gators are trying to go out with a bang, get their first football state championship since in 1992, and there goes the freshman, and he gets slammed down hard, but not before close to another first down. Number 35, Josiah Clark, was on the carry.
Yeah, Josiah Clark, he's had a pretty good season. He's third on the team in rushing, rushed for over 400 yards this season. And this running back tandem is going to they got a bright future with Carter Judah, Josiah Clark. You got a freshman and sophomore. That's a pretty good 1-2 combo for your running backs for the Gator offense.
Snap, hand off to Judah. Judah gets 8-9 yards on that one. Some chippiness happening down there.
When you're up 28-6, right now you just want to run the football, eat up clock, and get out of here with the win.
Let's run that clock, baby. Gators less than a quarter and a half away, heading back to the state championship. Snap. Looking, firing to White, too far in front. And that's going to be incomplete to set up third down and short now.
We got a score update in the third quarter. Chambers Academy leading Patrician Academy 32-2. That was the team that Glenwood lost to in the regular season, 20-14. Okay. We were up there in Lafayette, calling that game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Good game. It's one of the best games we did this year.
It really was.
Out of all the games we called, we didn't have a lot of close ones. That one, Lee Scott was pretty close, and then Russell County, Harris County. Hand off Judah. Judah carrying. Judah running.
Won't go down.
Judah getting another first down.
Oh, he has definitely hit over the century mark today. Carter Judah has just had an incredible season. 9 touchdowns on the season as well. We'd like to try to go for double digits on the season. Well, what they normally do, the stats will carry over into the playoffs. That's usually high school rules. So, these stats are still carrying over.
Jet sweep. Camden White,
what a block.
Blockers in front, makes a man miss, Sell on his feet, rolling to the end zone, touchdown Gators. And number 3, Camden White with his third touchdown run of the game. Have yourself a hat trick, young man. And it's 34-6 Gators.
Camden
rumble,
White.
Young man, rumble.
There you go. Oh, you got some Gus Johnson there. Camden White, number 3 with number 3. Third touchdown of the day.
3 for 3.
What a night for Camden White. And Glenwood is inching closer to that berth at the state championship next week in Montgomery.
And the 5th extra point is good. 3:49 remaining. Glenwood 2 touchdowns here in the second half. And they're up 35-6.
Truly has been an incredible performance by the Glenwood Gators team, firing on all cylinders. And it got a little close when Autauga got that touchdown and cut it to 14-6. Glenwood had to find a way to respond, and they have done just that. Now, Autauga has made some mistakes, and Glenwood was able to capitalize on those mistakes. But Glenwood, with 3:49 left to go in the third quarter, they are inching closer and closer to that berth. With more than likely Lee Scott Academy, they are leading 34-3 in their game against Fort Dale Academy up in Auburn.
Is going to sail through the end zone. And another Glenwood touchback.
I tell you, that Griffin Montroy, he has got a leg.
Wondering if we're going to see maybe one more touchdown before Glenwood calls the dogs off. 3:49 remaining here in the third quarter. Gators up by 29. Game brought to you by Carroll Purdue and State Farm. I'm Mike at Ed's Barbecue and Happy Hour Bar and Grill. So Lee Scott leads 42-3 now over Fort Dell. That one's over with. Cameron Wright comes up a big gimpy there. Not before he gets another minus 5-6 yards. Make it second down and 5.
Well, he has been playing hard all night for Autauga. He's got the touchdown run, and he's been just running the football hard, but that Gator defense has been smothering him. They've been putting 7 in the box to try to stop him, and now he exits the game. And where does Autauga go as far as the primary weapon? This could be where Mason Emmons got to make a big throw.
Second down, and nice cutback. And that is number 4, Jacob Holland, in his first carry. He's a secondary member of the defense. But that's an Autauga first down.
Yeah, Autauga does not have a deep bench. A lot of their players do play offense and defense, like a lot of these small private schools do. We saw Chambers Academy a couple weeks ago that didn't have really a deep bench.
Richard, I got a question for you.
Sure.
What's a famous alumni that played for Autauga?
That would be the current Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end and Alabama tight end, O.J. Howard.
Pass is caught.
What a
nice
catch.
Nice pass
Wow.
and catch. First down, number 1, Key William Cook. And that Richards nugget was brought to you by no one. But nice job, Richard.
Well, if you remember the national championship game against Clemson when Alabama won it in 2015, O.J. Howard completely took over that game.
He had also a great championship game the next year, too, against Clemson in 2016, the one that Alabama lost on the last play of the game. First down from Autauga. Nice pass from Eamon to Cook, and Holland gets nothing, loses 4 or 5 yards. Big number 50, Ash Davidson, was one of those that was in there on that tackle, along with number 44, Harlan Wilmoth. And Wilmoth gets the Gators to back up Autauga for 4-yard loss, set up second and 14.
And Thrift, Autauga is one of those schools that's also going to the AHSAA along with Glenwood and Lee Scott.
And he's going to throw it deep. He's going to throw it up to Dickerson. Dickerson falls down, and that's definitely going to be called. There's about 4 flags out there.
They all threw the flags.
And the problem was, it wasn't bad coverage by number 23, Jackson Griggs. He just didn't turn his head around, and then he made contact with him. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Yeah, Autauga Academy out of Prattville. Probably going to see a lot of future matchups next year against Prattville High School, Prattville Lions. They're also in the 7A in the same region with Central and Auburn and Enterprise. And that's really, I know that in football it's going to be tough, but in the other sports, we definitely want to see those dream matchups.
So next week, it's looking like we're going to have Glenwood Lee Scott in the state championship, Brookstone Pacelli in the quarterfinals, and maybe Central Auburn in the quarterfinals. You talk about rivalries in the playoff games. I mean, that's dream matchups for any fan around this area. Eman circles around for a gain of 3 or 4.
I'm actually hoping for a second-round matchup, possibly up against Spencer and Fitzgerald.
Only problem I will say about all 7 Muskogee County schools making it, that only 4 of them can make the playoffs. In years past, we had the ability where every team could have made the playoffs. But now they won't have that because of only 4 teams from each region, and there's 8 in that one. Eman is going to throw it up again, wide open, and another catch. That was to number 2 for Autauga Academy, Barrett McIntyre. And that's going to be another first down. I like Eman. He's throwing up, and these guys are open too. Glenwood getting lackadaisical on defense. Clock running down. We're almost at a minute left here in the third quarter. Gators up by 29.
Well, when you have a quarterback that can throw the football like Eman, you can claw your way back into a game, even when it's a deficit in 35-6.
By the way, pitch out, Holland. And Holland still on his feet, still running. Bad tackling from Glenwood, and they gets it all the way down to about the 1. Cameron Wright is out right now. We hope he is not too injured. That guy was number 7 for Autauga. And we talked about Glenwood leaving to go the AISA. Lee Scott is too. So this will be the final time these 2 teams face against each other in the AISA for football next week if they play, which is looking like they will. And Autauga is also going. So Autauga, Glenwood, and Lee Scott will all be in the public school division of Alabama next year.
And I'm curious to see what type of region, what are the other teams going to look like? Because right now the 3A schools around us, Beulah's a 3A school, Dadeville, you have Randolph County. Of course, Alabama does have the reclassification as well.
Yep, and there's Cameron Wright, who finally gets in for his second touchdown of the game. It may be a little too late, but a good drive right there for Autauga. Nice job by the quarterback, Eman, finding his receivers, connecting with them, and getting the ball down the field with 26 seconds remaining in the third, 35-12 Glenwood.
Well, I tell you, Autauga's not going away. They're going to fight in this game. I know it might be too little too late. We got just about a quarter left, but Glenwood cannot get complacent. They have got to respond after this touchdown and just do what they do best and just periodically run the football and let Dallas Crow make plays.
Snap, rolls out, wide open, back of the end zone. Can he catch it? Nope, it's going to be intercepted, and this can be returned.
This could be a
There
two-pointer.
goes Stet Morris.
Oh,
no.
They're going to whistle it dead. Oh, I thought he was going to get a two-point conversion going the other way.
I don't think they have that here.
They
in
don't
high school.
have that. You're right.
So, but an interception that's going to be means no two-point conversion, and the Gators still lead 35-12. So Gators right now will get the ball back. I expect to see the starters still out there as this is a playoff game, and they are up by 23. We had a lot of fun at the Basketball Media Day on Sunday. We had 15 different high schools around this area that were there, the girls and boys programs, including Glenwood, as they had Coach Purdue there. So we're gearing up for basketball season. We're already doing CVCC girls and boys games. We're going to be doing Pacelli. We got Glenwood. We got Calvary. We got all 8 public schools. We're going to get a Central. I've already getting in contact with Central coaches. We're going to have Smith Station, Russell County, Harris County. We're just getting started when it comes to football.
This weekend they're in action. Columbus is playing Kendrick. Northside is hosting Southwest Atlanta Christian.
Calvary's actually playing Kendrick tonight.
Yes, absolutely. Hardaway's taking on Mundy's Mill. By the way, Southwest Atlanta Christian, who's coming to Columbus to take on the Northside Patriots, Dwight Howard went there. Oh, an onside kick. You knew that was going to happen.
And that one's going to be jumped on by number 18 for the Gators, who recovered that. Cal Lawrence.
Good job by the hands team.
Yep.
They might run one more play in the third quarter before they get it to the fourth quarter. Glenwood trying to get to the state championship for the second straight year in a row. They faced Lee Scott Academy last year. Finished 8-4, and they made it to the AISA state championship, but fell to Lee Scott in the championship game. And it looks like we could see a rematch of that same championship game in a week from now.
And there goes Camden Wright, able to get around the right end and still on his feet. Maybe even a face mask, no call. If it's not a first down, the clock should be running. Looks like they're spotting him ahead of the chains.
Yep, that's definitely going to be a first down for Glenwood. They just want to try to run the football and eat up more clock, and hopefully they'll get a play off here in the third quarter, or they're just going to let the play clock wind all the way down.
And Glenwood is 1 quarter away from heading to their second straight state championship. They're up 35-12. It's Thrift and Rich right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, AISA 3A semifinal game, brought to you by Mike and Ed's Barbecue, State Farm, Carroll Purdue, Happy Hour Bar and Grill, P&B Broadcasting, Sports Visions. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to Sammy Howard Field. Start of the fourth quarter. And there's our big run by Carter Judah. 8-yard gain as keep those clocks running as Glenwood up 35-12. Thrift, Barringer, Richard Holdrige here for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thrift, I'm excited. This is actually my first playoff game for Glenwood.
And you were able to call some playoff games last year. I was able to be on the Carver playoff run when they went all the way to the state in 2021, both for radio. This is my first live streaming playoff game. Toygar and Chris, they've been doing this in their sleep since they were born, so they've been calling and broadcasting a lot of playoff games. So with all of us together, this is what you're getting. And look at that. He faked everyone out on the zippity-doo-dah. And there goes Mr. Dallas Crow. He had the entire defense for Autauga biting in on that fake. And he goes around the right end for 30 yards. And it's going to be Gators first and goal.
Dallas Crow interchanneling his Houdini as nobody knew he had the football. Everybody thought.
Do we say Houdini or do we say the new magician?
The new David Blaine?
Yeah. I mean, does anyone say Houdini anymore or do we say Blaine? Houdini's always going to be great.
Yes, absolutely.
Judah, spin move. Judah lost and slammed to the ground. Key William Cook, the receiver, he has thrown down quite a few Gators
I
with
think
authority.
He's got a career in the WWE if he wants to, because that was a body slam all the way to the ground.
Clock running, almost at 10 minutes left in this one. Gators trying to go up by 30. They can score right here and get the extra point. Lee Scott's up by 40 in their game. Last time those two teams faced, and we'll start talking about that here in just a moment. Round right in, Camden White carries a couple defenders for maybe a modest 3 yards to make it third down and goal from the 5.
Yeah, we called that game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live all the way on September the 15th. We had high school game day here, both ADs for Lee Scott and Glenwood there. Great quarterback matchup between Pelzer Reeves and Dallas Crow.
And by the way, Lee Scott in that one, they led
24-21 at one point.
And in the second half, in the first half, they also scored the first touchdown of the game. So it was a back and forth. And there is Mason McCrane with
he almost got
a one-handed catch. Crow wanted that one. You saw that look of like, gosh, you got to be kidding me. And now I think they're going to bring on
why not let Griffin Montroy kick the field goal?
Montroy on, kick a field goal. I think this is going to be the first time I've seen him kick a field goal. In all the games we've called for the Gators, this is our 5th this year.
Yeah, and also in that Lee Scott game, it seemed like Jake White had like 20 receptions.
Kick is up. Kick is good. And with 9:55 remaining, Gators lead by 26, 38-12. But like you said, last time Lee Scott and Glenwood played, it was a back-and-forth game. Glenwood ended up winning that one by 2 touchdowns. But I was really impressed what I saw from Lee Scott. And it's going to be a back-and-forth one, as last year's state championship game also was a game that came down to the wire. Glenwood beat Lee Scott this year 42-31. They won by 11, Glenwood's won 38-12, 38-17, 35-7, 51-6, 42-31, 48-12, 48-13, 42-7, 49-8. So you add all those up, and then they lost 20-14. That's the only reason why they're not close to 50 points a game. But they're at 40, and they got 38 here.
And with Lee Scott about to go to 10-1, their only loss to Glenwood. Remember, they started the season taking on Chambers Academy, and they only beat them 14-7.
Glenwood beat this Autauga team 42-7 last time they played. And that one's going to go through the end zone. Autauga lost to Fort Dale, Lee Scott, and Glenwood. They beat Bessemer last week by 9. Fort Dale's only loss, they were 9-2 on the season. And their only losses was to Glenwood by 28 and then Lee Scott by 32. And then now they're losing pretty handily. And let's be honest, I mean, out of all the teams in the AISA, Lee Scott is just head and shoulders, and Glenwood above everyone else in 3A.
They're the class of this league. I mean, they've always been in
now they're
multiple
leaving.
sports.
Now they're leaving, so they're going to have a new class. And if my man runs into his own offensive lineman who was pushed in the backfield.
I'll be honest, Thrift, I would like to see a team like Chambers Academy move up in classification because they're going to stay in the AISA. You got Lakewood down in Eufaula. They might move up in a classification. With all these teams leaving for the AHSAA, they might just go down to 2 classifications.
No one's been in this AISA for over 50 years. And finally making the move. That one's thrown up, going to be easily intercepted. And it may be returned for a touchdown. And he goes. Touchdown. Levi Pender on the return. And a pick 6. And you can put this one on ice. Gators are heading to the state, guys. 44-12. And nice job by Levi Pender getting the interception. The junior, that was a bad pass. I don't think he had control of that football.
And that gave him the lead for the most interceptions on the team with 3, because he was tied with Camden White and Jackson Griggs. They all had 2 interceptions. Very fitting for him to get a pick 6 to the house to put this game on ice.
Kick is up. Kick is good. 45-12 now.
So it looks like, Thrift, we could start previewing that Glenwood Lee Scott Championship game. Is going to be at the Cramden Bowl on Thursday night, 7 o'clock. But just to remind everybody that they will have the other AISA championship games at 1 and 4. These are Central Time, so Eastern Time, 8 o'clock. But they have to let the championship game finish before they kick off. Looks like Chambers Academy is going to be in one of those championship games.
Well, Glenwood handled their business tonight. And great job by Coach McConnell and that defense, only giving up 12 points. Good play calls by Coach Nelson, and now we're going to start seeing the second and third teamers get some love, the young guys, in a playoff game.
2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Chambers Academy is leading Patrician Academy 38-2. Looks like they're going to make an appearance in the AISA 2A championship next week.
And that's going to be a touchback. And it's going to be first down and 10 from the 20 for the Generals.
We also have Clark Prep taking on Banks Academy and still trying to get a score update. Chambers is going to play the winner of Banks Academy and Clark Prep. In 1A, looks like it's going to be Lowndes. They seem to be the top team, undefeated in 1A. It's going to be exciting all-day action at the Cramden Bowl on Thursday, starting with the 8-man AISA football. We're cheering for Springwood. Hopefully they can make it to the 8-man AISA championship. And then we'll have the 1A, 2A, and 3A championship all day at the Cramden Bowl.
Going to take a timeout. Thrift, Barringer, Richard Holdrige, Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Be right back after this. It was 42-3.
Yeah. I can look it up. Welcome back to Sammy Howard Field. The Swamp, Glenwood, is 9:15 away from advancing to the state championship here against Autauga Academy as the running back, a good run by the running back. That's number 4, Jacob Howland, who has come in for Cameron Wright, and he has done a pretty good job at the running back position. Thrift, we do have a final. Lee Scott Academy defeated Fort Dale Academy 42-3, and they are going to the state championship in Montgomery next week.
Yep, so we're going to have Glenwood versus Lee Scott.
That's the matchup we've wanted to see.
Somebody's going to say, and we own something, because after every game when I was here, and I think they still do it, after those two teams face off, Holland running all the way to midfield and gets a first down, is whoever wins the game, you either hear, we own Glenwood, or we hear, we own Lee Scott, depending on which school wins. So one of those schools will be yelling that at the end of the state championship next week. We hope to be on the call for that one.
Absolutely.
It is going to be phenomenal. And then we got Calvary hosting a semifinal game against either Kings Academy or Lanier.
They are playing today. This is a big weekend in sports in the Chattahoochee Valley. High school football in the GHSA as well. It's a good pitch. He stumbled a little bit.
Holland, though, getting some good runs here.
I tell you, he's been running the football pretty well. But, yeah, this is the opening week for high school basketball. It looks like they're getting the Gatorade bath ready down there, Thrift. You see them, they got the Gatorade right there. I'm wondering what they're trying to do there. But, no, it's a very busy week, Thrift. You got Columbus State Cougars and Lady Cougars in their action this week as well. The home opener is actually tomorrow for the Lady Cougars.
Counter to
Oh, he ran into his own man.
Holland, and he runs into his own offensive lineman. Set up 3rd down and 7. So we will not be live tomorrow night. So everyone else, enjoy all the playoff action. Enjoy Veterans Day. And we will have our Georgia-Alabama Sports Live review show, talk about all these playoff games on Sunday. Make sure to tune in. And then next week, Happy Hour Bar and Grill. We're going to do our live show. We'll have Coach Ryan Nelson, some players and coaches, Coach Fanning, also some Coach Steve Smith from Calvary, Tom Callahan from the River Dragons. It is a star-studded lineup, and there's some, I don't know who that was.
Little
that was just
curricular activities out of bounds. And
driving him out for the late hit. Be careful with that. Thankfully, no flag was thrown. Just some young guys just amped up to be in this one.
Thrift, you mentioned Tom Callahan. He is actually down in Baton Rouge calling the River Dragons game between the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Try to get a score update on that as well. Looks like they're in the 2nd intermission. Oh, the River Dragons are up 2-1. In the 3rd period about to start, as they are 3-1 on the season. Their home opener is next Friday against the Mississippi Seawolves. Now you got to hurry up.
He was trying to run on with all his might, and it's going to be a
really
delay of
did.
game, and it's going to be punted. And I think they're punting on this game is Autauga, and if you're Glenwood, just run that clock, baby.
And this will be the final game for Autauga Academy in the AISA. As who knows, they might be in the same region with Glenwood and Lee Scott. I mean, Prattville is not too far away, but I expect a lot of regular season matchups in other sports playing Prattville. That's what the fans want in Prattville. Oh, you got to be careful there. That's a live ball. But actually a good punt, and it pins Glenwood back. And 5:30 left to go in this ball game. They could taste it now. A berth in the state championship against Lee Scott Academy next week at the Cramden Bowl. So here's some of the playoff action that has actually taken place tomorrow. A lot of the public schools are in action. Central, Garrett Harrison Stadium, they are taking on Davison. Auburn is on the road taking on Baker. Over in Columbus, we have Carver that's hosting Academy of Richmond County. Ola is at Harris County. Northside is on the road taking on Jones County. And on Saturday, Vidalia is going to be at Otis Spencer Stadium taking on Spencer. Stars Mill is on the road taking on Shaw is on the road taking on Stars Mill. And Troup County is down in Cairo taking on the Syrup Makers as they have a tough road matchup. And LaGrange is at home at Callaway Stadium taking on Westover.
We'll take a quick break. Thrift, Barringer, Richard Holdrige, Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back here, Thrift and Richard, as we're hoping Glenwood can run this clock out the last 5 minutes. They got some big basketball games coming up. The girls playing the Terrell Thanksgiving Classic. We'll be doing Glenwood Calvary November the 28th.
Oh, I cannot wait for that.
Can't wait for that one. We're also going to be doing Brookstone and Columbus coming up here in the next few weeks. We got Pacelli's games. They start after November. So can't wait. We got a loaded. Then we're going to be doing the Muskogee County Christmas Tournament, the Glenwood Border Wars. Got a lot happening in the month of December. And Toygar's going to be singing at our staff karaoke party, so we'll make sure to put that on Facebook for everybody to see. He's shaking his head at me. And off to the freshman that gets nothing. Some big games happening in college football, too. We talked about it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. You got Ole Miss and Georgia.
Huge game.
You got the Sign Sealers versus Penn State. Michigan and Penn State facing off.
And is it going to be another year where Penn State loses to Michigan and Ohio State and finishes 10-2?
Well, the positive outlook on that is that their best players on offense are all sophomores or freshmen. So
exactly. And Coach Franklin is one of the top coaches in college football.
All backups are in for Glenwood. Almost a high snap. It's going to be kept. The backup quarterback in right now is number 19 for the Gators, Trey Clarity. Shout out to my guy, Tommy Clarity, his son, Trebo, getting some love here in the semifinal game. Trey, only a freshman. He's the future for this team. Remember, Crow's a senior. They got some players they're going to have to replace as Glenwood.
They really do. They've had a long history of great players that come out of this school. Last year, you had Aaron Burton, J.T. Banks. I mean, they just plug and play. They have these players that, they start, on the JV team, and they are just – they love Glenwood football, and I'm really excited to see them make that transition to the AHSAA next year.
And Glenwood's going to take another timeout. With 3 minutes remaining here, 4th down, I bet they're going to punt. I don't even think they're even going to talk to the team. I think they're just calling a timeout because the play clock was about to go to 0. So here's Autauga going to get one more possession.
Going to try to make it respectable and try to cut into this lead. But Glenwood is 3 minutes away from facing Lee Scott Academy in the state championship next Thursday at the Cramden Bowl.
Luckily for a lot of these students, they don't have school next week because it is late. And
a lot of these schools are out all week.
I think every school is. Good punt.
For Thanksgiving week.
It's shout out to Coach Ryan Nelson, legendary coach, one of the staff members from Ryan Nelson's team. 2:48 remaining. We're just hoping this clock gets run. No reason why the clock should stop. Autauga does got decent field position. I'm going to say the ball went out of bounds a lot sooner than we thought.
And also a reminder that Calvary Christian's going to be in action this Friday. They're going to take on the winner of the Keens Academy or Lanier Christian Academies. I'm trying to get a score update.
Next Friday.
Next Friday, not this Friday.
They got to bye this Friday. Snap. Holland. Counter. Nothing. Well, this will be the last time these seniors get to play on this field. They go undefeated at home in their senior season. So guys like Lamont Burton and Dallas Crow, Camden White. Great job by those guys. Wesley Graham. Able to go undefeated at home. And in the last 2 seasons, Glenwood is 4-1 last year and 5-0 this year, so they're 9-1, about to be 10-1 at home. Great job by these seniors. Great season for these Gators. And they got one more to go to bring home that illustrious state championship trophy, their first since 1992. It's so close. The fans, the coaching staff, the players can taste it. But they got one more game to go, and it's against their hated rival, Lee Scott, the defending state champions. Good tackle for loss there as we're heading into the final minute.
The fans, the players, we're a minute away as the clock continues to wind down. They could taste it. A berth in the championship game against Lee Scott Academy. Second straight year that Glenwood will advance to the championship game. Quite an accomplishment.
And could have almost been a face mask there, 23 seconds. And they're going to stop the clock with 21 seconds remaining. Thank you to our sponsors all season long for their support, like Carroll Purdue and State Farm, like Mike and Ed's Barbecue and Chase Cook. We'll be there Monday for the Glenwood coaches, so I can't wait to give me some good barbecue. Also, Happy Hour and Bar and Grill, Matt Call, P&B Broadcasting. We appreciate you. And we got one more game to go, so if you want to be a sponsor next week, make sure to contact me or Richard Holdrige. And that is going to do it. The Glenwood Gators go to 10-1 on the season and are heading to the state championship. Seniors finished undefeated at home in their senior season, and Gators are one win away from getting their first state championship in 30 years. Great job by Coach McConnell. Great job by Coach Nelson and the rest of this coaching staff. Really proud of how they played. Nice game from Dallas Crow. Carter Judah was great inside the tackles as a running back. And the Gators dominate this one 45-12.
A great win by Glenwood. All around, great performance by the offense, the defense, special teams. They made sure that Autauga did not get any signs of momentum. And now they have a date with destiny against their longtime hated rival in the state championship, the Lee Scott Academy Warriors. It is a rematch of last year's state championship, and how fitting would it be if Glenwood can get the win and set sail into the AHSAA and say goodbye to the AISA. This is the final game for Autauga Academy, by the way, in the AISA, as they will make that move to the AHSAA next year as well.
Yep, final game as a football program in Glenwood. This is their final home playoff game as a member of the AISA, and they go out on top 45-12. Been a lot of fun. Enjoyed calling all these games. We hope to be there next week for the state championship at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. Make sure to have a great, blessed weekend. Good luck to all the teams around the Tri-City area as they fake on in the first round of the playoffs for the AHSAA and the GHSA. And we got some teams facing off next week with byes from Toygar, Chris Gates, Richard Holdrige. I'm Thrift Barringer saying thank you so much for tuning in. Be safe. And we hope to see you next week. Make sure to tune in on Sunday for the Georgia-Alabama Sports Live Show. Good night, and stay classy, everyone.